My channel has been all about mechanics, but we know that's only about 25 to 30% of the game. So after about a few suggestions and a meme, let's talk about positioning and rotation. I'm going to break the video down into a few sections. We're going to start with the most basic ones, which is kickoffs. You never want to start the game down 3-0, so this formation here should prevent that. With the formation now being 1 man up, 2 man back, obviously the person at the front will go for kickoff. Now this is where it gets tricky. There are 3 outcomes once the kickoff starts. A person grabs it and falls to the ground trying to start a play or immediately looking for a pass. B, a person grabs it and tries to shoot looking for an immediate kickoff 3-pointer. And C, the 2 people going for kickoff both hit the ball at the same time, resulting in a 50-50 and a loose ball. And you have to be able to cover all of that. Best way that looks like this. After the person goes for kickoff, the person closest to the kickoff person should move slightly upfield looking for the pass or the potential 50-50 on the opponent's side of the court. While the person farther away from the person taking kickoff, they should hover back to about their own 3-point line so they can cover the shot or the 50-50 on your side of the court. This is how it should look like in game. As you can see, Rumster goes for the ball, so Tommy moves back towards net and I move up looking for a 50-50 or the pass opportunity. And this is what you shouldn't do. As you can see, both teammates creep forward even though I should have went back, which resulted in a free shot. Luckily, Rumster's there to bail me out. As long as we follow this formation on kickoff, there should be no easy threes and it all should go smooth sailing. But if you do happen to give up a 3, let me show you the best way to position yourself to get it back. There's 3 positions that gets formed once the opponent scores and your team has to bring up the ball. The ball handler. This person grabs the ball off start. The goal is to move the ball upfield and start a play. They can do this by passing to either teammate or try to start a solo play to open up more space, but it's riskier. We will get to that soon. Next up, we'll call him the middleman. This man has a very important role to play. They will be the safest option for the ball handler by staying close, looking for a quick pass to continue on or even start the play themselves. They also have the job of recognizing what the ball handler is going to do. If the ball handler has no passing option, it's best for them to start a solo play, but they can start one with the risk of losing it because there's no one behind them. So as a middleman, you have to recognize this and move back so the ball handler can move forward with more confidence and space, looking to create the play. The middleman now becomes the last back. Lastly, we have the option, or the receiver, whatever you want to call him. This player makes their way all the way up the court looking for a pass from the ball handler. You don't want to put yourself too far in the corner, but you want to make sure you're in a good spot for the ball handler to see so he can make an accurate pass. I'd hover around these areas. Whether it's moving side to side or up and down, your job is to get as open as you possibly can, as there's a huge chance you'll get the ball and you'll make an attempt to shoot on net. You have to understand when the ball handler has an angle and space to pass, and when they don't. If the ball handler is there, I like to stand here. If the ball handler is here, I like to stand there. It can lead to a great passing opportunity and scoring opportunity, although it's a more difficult pass due to the defender standing right here. So recently, I've been loving the same side pass, and plus it keeps this triangle formation, which covers the most ground. This formation should lead you into some offensive pressure, and we have to be able to keep up the pressure as long as possible. There are 3 main things we should be focusing on. The first one is waste your opponent's boost. Whether that's baiting them out in the air, dribbling them on the ground, or passing around, if your opponents have no boost, they will have a very difficult time defending. The second one is watch for your open teammate. Since there will more than likely be a defender in net, this means there should be at least one person on your team relatively open. Don't be afraid to make that extra pass, especially if you don't have the shot. The last one is offensive loose balls are huge. They will make a difference maker in the game, and the more offensive loose balls and rebounds you get, it will break down the defense by losing their good positioning and having less boost, making them scramble a lot more. Offensive loose balls lead to many goals. It would look something like this. The person who has the ball mainly becomes first man. They have the job of wasting boost and looking for the pass for the potential shot. The second man has the job of recognizing what the first man is going to do and be ready for the pass when there is space, while also being ready for a potential loose ball from a shot or a 50-50. The last man has the job of being the safety option if the ball handler needs an out. It's also very important to be in a spot where you can make it all the way back for a potential save to shot by the other team, but also be in a spot where any loose balls in this area you have the chance to get. This will keep up the offensive pressure. Although you must fully know you will win this challenge. If you think there's a slight chance you won't win this challenge, it's best to fall back towards net. It's very important to know that if you do not have boost, no matter what spot you're in, to fall back and take over last man. Your boost will recharge while in this spot, and you should be able to make it back for a save if your positioning is good. Now that we have covered the offensive side of things, let's move on to defense. After scoring a goal, the other team starts with possession. The defensive team has to get into 3 spots. The first spot someone has to take is first man. Immediately get to the front and get ready to put on pressure as soon as the shield comes down. The second man has the important job of guarding the safety option while also being in a good spot to cut off the ball handler in case he gets past the first defender. Lastly, we have the third man, or the last back. They will take the position of defending the net and the receiver. Although a lot of people go straight under the net to get into position, I believe it's best to put yourself more in this area. You'll cover your man better while also being in a good spot to react to any quick 3-pointers. This brings us to defensive pressure and rotation. Remember, at all times, someone has to be on the ball handler and you have to cover the biggest threat on the court. This could mean an immediate shot on net, your teammate gets beat and now the ball handler is free, a pass across net, or even a clear into your side while an opponent is cherry picking. When rotating, you have to ask yourself if the most immediate threat is covered. If so, then your teammate probably has it covered and you should get into a spot where you can cover all the other options. If the ball goes this side, then this man now becomes a second man and this man will rotate to net, while this man will be watching for all of the other threats. If you know your teammate has a free save, you should move slightly upfield, ready for the counter attack. A lot of people have different ways to rotate and position, and that's okay. Some people like the 2-man back covering the left and right. Some people like to double the ball handler. It's still really early in Metaball and there isn't a proper way to rotate yet, at least not known, but as you start to know yourself more, you'll find what position you like to cover the most, which leads me into my next point. In order for all this to work out, you have to be able to know what position you like to play the most and what position you're best at. You also have to know your teammates. Personally, I feel like I'm really aggressive. I like the first or second man role because I feel like I play decent shadow defense. I like to steal the ball for counterattacks and look for interceptions. I do know though that if I have someone on my team just like that, then I don't mind dropping back and playing the third man spot for most of the game. If you have someone on your team who is really good at ball handling, let them take it up and be in a good spot for them. There's no need to fight over the ball. If you have a great shot, then maybe you might want to become really good at net defense so you can make the save to shot goals. I know there isn't really positions in Metaball and everyone has to rotate, but if you're good at something, make sure to use it as much as you can. Well, that's it from me. I hope this video helped you guys with your positioning and rotation. As you improve and get better, so will your range, which will help you be able to put more pressure on the ball, bend the rotation a bit, and make faster split decisions. But until then, I hope this is a good basis for everyone. Remember to trust your teammates, and if this video taught you anything at all, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. The more feedback I get, knowing I'm actually helping people, the more it makes me want to make these videos, and I really appreciate it. But until then, take it easy, and peace!